Welcome everyone to Touhoumon 1.8 Enhanced. I'm Lunar Cloud. This game is brought to you by CSanae. You might be asking what Touhoumon is if you don't know what Touhoumon is. I'll explain that and everything else as soon as we get into it right now. So Touhoumon is essentially, it started off as a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red, which replaces all the Pokemon with Touhou characters. And there's many different versions of this game. Some of them actually add in new regions or areas. Some of them actually are ROM hacks of Emerald instead. There's 1.5 and 1.8 where most of the hacks fall, and 1.5 models are typically more like Pokemon. They have the old type chart. They have, stuff like physical special being based on your type. And then you have 1.8, which is totally new types. There's stuff like Dragon is replaced by a new Faith type. In really old versions of Touhoumon that are under the 1.5, there's also different sprites too that are lower quality, but most ROM hacks use the newer sprites that 1.8 uses, including certain ROM hacks that are still 1.5 but were updated with 1.8 assets afterwards. Like my favorite one, Touhoumon Blue, it uses 1.8 sprites for the most part, but it's a 1.5 hack. Yeah, there's Another World, World Link. Those are done by CSanae. 1.8 Enhanced, which I'm playing right now today, is a 1.8. Is a 1. There. What was I saying? God damn it. Anyway, there's yeah, we're gonna pick. Oh yeah, you don't get a choice between two characters. Typically, you have Renko and Maribel, but this time you have Maribel, and you pick whether you want her to be 13 or 9, which is a little weird. But I'm gonna pick 13 just because I trust that a 13-year-old would be a little bit better at navigating a region and capturing little girls in balls than a 9-year-old would. Oh, also, there's actually a backstory to Touhoumon. I haven't read on it recently, so I might get some of these details wrong. But it involves Marisa, because everything's Marisa's fault. But it involves Marisa getting into some spooky magic mishandling. And I think it was either Patchouli or Alice. I think it was Alice. And they mess up this thing where they were trying to do lifelike puppets that could actually, like, act on their own. And they end up accidentally releasing these Boneka, which... It's called Boneka because CSanae is Indonesian and Boneka is Indonesian for doll, so... But they create these dolls that are based on all of the Touhou, that are like copies of all the Touhou characters, and they get released into the wild and they just get left alone, and everybody just kind of, just lives with it. But, your rival in this game is Renko. Normally, most ROM hacks actually allow, most Touhoumon versions, they allow you to pick between, Renko or Maribel, but... But yeah, so 1.8 Enhanced is a ROM hack of Fire Red. Touhoumon World Link is a 1.5 hack, and that's Emerald. Another World is Another World is a 1.5 hack of Fire Red. There's also Touhoumon Blue, which is my favorite one, which actually removes the need for any HMs, although the HMs are actually decent moves in that game. You'll also notice that the music is edited, and it's like GBA font Touhou music remixes. Most hacks do this to some extent, but there are a lot of them that don't actually have Touhou music. They're just the music from the Pokemon games itself. And another major difference between the 1.5 and 1.8 hacks is that 1.8 and 1.5, the selection of Touhou's dolls, Bonica, whatever you want to call them, is very different. And while you have the same concept of what you can obtain, there's the way that everything evolves is very different. In 1.5 based hacks, you have a Chibi, a base form, and then an EX form. And the EX form is their highest, their highest stage of evolution. But in 1.8 hacks mostly actually have your Chibi form, and then they can actually evolve into one of a bunch of different things, either based on level or by evolutionary stones. And it depends really on what you're going for. I mean, if you want to build a team of all fully usable versions of CSanae, for example, you could do that in 1.8 because there's like 5 different kinds of CSanae, which all have different stat spreads and I guess different move pools. I've never really played 1.8 hacks all that much. I played a little bit of Touhoumon Emerald on my phone, but I actually don't really know 1.8 that well. But we're gonna introduce you to all of the starters, and we're gonna talk about them real quick. So first is CSanae. CSanae is a pure Faith type. Faith is the replacement for Dragon in this game, and she can evolve at level 36 into CSanae with a red Heartstone into Attack CSanae, or a purple Heartstone evolves her into Technical CSanae, and Trade will evolve her into Tensoku. I'm not going to be doing any Trade evolutions because I don't fully understand them. Quick note, in 1.8 hacks, there's the different forms are labeled. There's Attack, Defense, Helper, Speed, Technician, and Advent. Advent's based on the Final Fantasy parody that was done with a lot of Touhou characters. But different Heartstones will evolve your little doll into an Attack, Defense, Helper, Speed, or Technician. Those are the 5 main kinds. Not every Touhoumon has all 5 of them. In fact, most of them don't have all 5 of them, but CSanae has 2 plus the plus her base form. A lot of them will evolve by level into like a regular version of themselves, but if you want an alternate version, you will want to pick an evolutionary stone. Here is CReisen. She is a pure heart type, and she evolves into a defense form or technician form with Heartstones, or her regular Raisin at level 36. She also has Rainbow Shard into Advent Raisin. And then here we have CAlice, who is a pure Reason type, which is essentially Psychic type. She evolves into her base form at level 36. She evolves into Attack form or Technician form with Heartstones. So all 3 of the starters have a Technician form if you want them. And she also has an Advent form with a Rainbow Shard evolution. All 3 of them Actually, no. Not all three of them. Alice also has a trait evolution, but I won't be really delving into that, like I said. So the three starters, they have different pros and cons. You got... CSanae is like a mixed wall type. Like, she's decent on defenses, not really that good at your, offensive stats. CReisen is your, to my knowledge, she's your typical, fairly balanced, but obviously leaning towards special attack kind of character. She's a little frail, though, so she can get knocked out kind of easily. And then, Alice is your mixed defenses plus special attack. She's very slow. She's kind of a mighty glacier type. So she has decent special attack, but she can also take a hit to make up for the fact that she can't move first. So we've got mixed wall, you've got mighty glacier, you've got kind of a glass cannon-esque character. I'm actually going to leave the starter picking up to you guys. This was a bit of a short part because I just wanted to explain what Touhoumon is about and just kind of introduce the starters. But I wanted, in the comments below, should we start with CSanae, should we start with CReisen, or should we start with CAlice? And I will count up the votes, and when part 2 starts, we'll find out who end up winning. Until then, drop a comment, subscribe if you like the video, share it, and I'll see you next time.